英文呢，羅文中意。
To our financial review 2024, Hong Kong's economy got off to a strong start with enhanced connections between the SAR and the mainland cities in the Greater Bay Area. But with Hong Kongers traveling north, visitors spending less than the SAR, and an ongoing downturn in the property market would dampen the year.
The beginning of the year began with cautious optimism for the city, with the prospect of lower interest rates and a full year of reopening after the COVID-19 pandemic restrictions were lifted. This economist predicted 2024 GDP growth would be
2 to 3% should be no problem.
英文呢？中英都文，中英文都唔對。我一後再睇個英文大詞回顧。老婆煮龜年酒，真係大詞回顧除咗中英問題得，但係除咗。我中意陳家偉參加香港小姐，冇可能。
This restaurateur had to shut down this 15-year-old outlet. It had survived the protests and COVID-19 pandemic restrictions, but struggled with the changing consumer habits in the city.
It's like into tourism, it's like doing a little bit of something to push toward what we were. The opening of China doesn't help as well. The weekends are deserted. A lot of people want to travel, they want to spend offshore, and we have a really strong Hong Kong dollar because of our peg to the US dollar.
While Hong Kong residents traveled out of the city, visitor arrivals grew to more than 36 million in the first 10 months of 2024, a 37% increase compared with last year. But less than 50% of the visitors stayed overnight, affecting the hotel industry.
If we look at the tourism numbers, okay, so we are at around 80% of what we were pre-COVID. So the numbers are down a little bit. If we look at the past
今晚睇2024年，我今晚10點冇記得睇2024就頭條大總結，即係中新2024今年大件事就咁呢句，即2024娛樂頭條大總結。即係2024娛樂頭條大總結，即係大總
We are sort of capacity. We are sort of like tourists. When there are more and more tourists coming back, the third runway will start to bring back the tourism. All this kind of economic activity will be like booming.
The unemployment rate was about 3.1% for the September to November period. This recruiter said hiring was slow at the beginning of the year.
Specifically in 2024, I would say this is probably the slowest start to a year that we've seen since the global financial crisis 15 years ago. We'll also see a significant focus on cost control by most companies. So that is resulting in, I would say, less senior-level hiring and probably mid-level hiring.
One of the areas that was still hiring was technology, and the government's various schemes led Jeffrey Goldstein to grow his technology consulting business.
It means just more qualified
qualified people for us to hire. So we're expanding to support the growth from our business. So the business is growing exponentially now. We're getting a lot of leads and opportunities that are generated from outside Hong Kong that are generating business, in Hong Kong.
One of the schemes, called the Top Talent Pass scheme, attracted overseas talents with high income, good academic qualifications, and some work experience to come to Hong Kong.
There are some very qualified, candidates that come in from China who could also speak, Cantonese and have come to Hong Kong for their, master's degree, and they're very highly qualified, and they're looking to relocate to Hong Kong, and that provides us with the ability to be able to hire them.
After reviewing over 500 job applications, his company hired Nora Liu because of her communication skills. Plus, she had the Top Talent Pass, which allowed her to start work right away. Between mid-2023 and mid-2024, the city recorded a net inflow of 13,800 residents. Some people arrived through the talent schemes. Nora rented a service residential unit in Yau Ma Tei. She flew from Beijing to Hong Kong to work on projects for days to weeks at a time.
We can have like a 3-hour flight and coming in and out for the projects, for the work, and then I think I'm leveraging that geographical convenience for that.
Rental prices of residential homes rose 5.7% in the first 11 months of the year, according to the Center City Rental Index.
Some of those owner, those landlords, they actually sell their home, but they still rent apartment in Hong Kong. We also have a lot of students in Hong Kong, so that actually creates a huge demand for the living space in Hong Kong.
Andrew Chan represented an investor group that bought residential buildings and hotels and converted them to student housing.
Let's look at the total number of students in Hong Kong. Roughly, there are 160,000. Of that, maybe about 60,000 from overseas. So 60,000 students versus maybe around 30,000 local and overseas. So there's a shortage of at least 50,000 bed spaces that is required. So in Hong Kong, there are only a handful of operators.
In 2024, rents for student housing increased by about 10%. While rental prices increased, residential property prices did not. Early in the year, during the budget speech, Financial Secretary Paul Chan scrapped
由今次2025年有立法會選舉論壇同埋區議會選舉論壇就咁影，即時生效。
Demand-side management measures for residential properties with immediate effect. We consider that the relevant measures are no longer necessary amidst the current economic and market conditions.
That meant special stamp duty, or SSD, buyer's stamp duty, BSD, and new residential stamp duty, ABD, need not be paid for any residential property transactions. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority also suspended the interest rate stress tests, which meant home buyers could get a mortgage more easily. And market sentiment rebounded. This newly released 1,017 apartments consisted of 1-bedroom to 3-bedroom flats. Flat sizes range from 288 square feet to 771 square feet. Tony Wong, director of sales and marketing for KY International, said the response was good. He said 20 to 30% of buyers were local investors.
They come back to the market again. We see quite some investors buy more than one unit in some developments for long-term investments.
Tony said the scrapping of cooling measures also attracted rich mainlanders
我想
to
紅圖
purchase
新
their
星。
units. He said 50% of buyers came from the mainland.
The government introduced some good policy about attracting tenants from mainland. They in fact don't want to secure the Hong Kong ID card. They just want to invest in Hong Kong or station in Hong Kong and buy some units in Hong Kong.
By November, the primary market recorded almost 16,000 transactions, about a 50% increase compared with last year. The second-hand home market recorded over 30,000 transactions by November, which is a 3.6% increase compared with 2023. While the number of transactions increased, home prices fell. According to the Center City Leading Index, second-hand home prices fell 6% compared with last year, a return to the 2016 level.
Okay, so I would see that as a normal adjustment. So we adjust for like 6% this year and 5-6% last year. And we have to wait until the interest rate lowered to a certain level, and also we digest some of this excess supply in the housing market, so that our housing market will rise again.
Find out how the cuts in interest rates affected the SAR and the Sino-U.S. relationship under U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. Stay with us.